Not just talk, it's conversations. Arrow.net, ARROE.net. We are unplugged and totally uncut with Dr. Jeff Young.
I'm doing good.
Man, I got to thank you. I love what you do with not only in your private practice, but the way that you're sharing the love of all animals on Animal Planet. Because, I mean, you just really are opening up your heart and you're teaching people.
I think more than anything, that's what doctors should be, educators, correct?
Absolutely. And storytellers in the way of, we forget that these animals and stuff like that, even the deer in this forest, I don't know the history of 100 years ago. They belong in this forest, and I want to know it.
Yep, with you.
To get where you are on Animal Planet, I mean, you are the mountain vet. I mean, you see a lot out there in Denver. I mean, I'm from Montana. I know what you've got on those mountains, sir.
I came down from Montana, believe it or not, to go to vet school.
Really? What part of Montana are you from?
Yeah. Well, my dad was in the service, so we were in Great Falls, but I went to grad school in Bozeman.
Are you a Great Falls Bison? I mean, because that rivalry between Billings and Great Falls, man, we had some problems with your football teams up there.
No, I was younger. I was only in elementary school when I was in Great Falls.
Wow. Some of the stories that you're working on this time on Animal Planet's Dr. Jeffrey Mountain Vet, Rocky Mountain Vet, is that you work with a Yorkie. A lot of people would walk away from this situation, and it breaks my heart when I see people like that. But you chose to walk the path of recovery.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it just I worked animal control when I was in vet school, and it really opened my eyes to not necessarily poverty, but people that are on. I mean, it's America. Everybody's on a shoestring budget, and most people don't have an extra $400 sitting around if they have need to change tires on their car, and if a dog goes out and gets hit by a car or a cat gets into a fight, it can get really expensive real fast with current veterinary prices. Veterinary prices have shot up logarithmically over the last 20 years, and part of it is because so many clinics have been bought out by, basically Wall Street, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm all about making money, and, it's okay to do that. But in the end, you have to pay when you have boards of directors and stuff and a tier system. So, the kind of the James Herriot, vet is kind of gone. There's not a lot of us left anymore that just kind of work with people on a grassroots basis, and they don't always have the money. So I think we need more vets that do what I do, high volume, low cost work, and we certainly need the big humane societies to get involved in this kind of work because there's a real demand. Only about 40% of Americans can afford certain veterinary work simply because we've switched human medicine over to animal medicine, and it's great for the animals if you can afford it, and that becomes the real key.
You are so right about that because I do go to CVS to pick up my dog's medicine, and I'm using human medicine for that to cure her anxiety, and it's amazing and here's because I think that your heart is big enough in the way that I think you would have stopped me with a dog that I had several years ago. I spent $8,000 on a dog who swallowed a penny who got zinc poisoning. My dog was very sick, and I kept saying, let's try something new, let's try something new. You would be that guy that would say, okay, we're going to try something new, let's go adopt another dog.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I put in the time. We do pretty amazing exploratories and chest surgeries, and so I'm willing to give it. I can't practice the same level. I mean, we're not going to be doing CT scans and computer generated models before doing the surgeries and things like that. I mean, the things that are available to surgeons and at universities right now, it's amazing. I mean, it's fantastic. But once again, someone has to pay for it. And that gets to be the thing. So,
I put it on care credit. Oh my God! I thank God for those guys.
Yeah, but you take a single mom with two kids.
Right.
How can she do that? And my big thing right now, economic euthanasia. It's a reality, and my purpose here is to fill that gap so people don't have that choice of okay, I got to spend $8,000 or $10,000, or I have to kill my dog, or kill my cat. I want to fill that gap, and maybe I'm only going to charge them $1,000 or $1,500, but I'm going to try to do my best and do everything I can to get that dog back to them.
Mm-hmm. What was your gut reaction and feeling as a professional when the story broke last week about the people here in North Carolina who got rid of their dog because they said it was gay? And so it's like, what in God's name is going on with the way that we love our animals?
Yeah. Well, I decided a long time ago Americans are schizophrenic when it comes to animals, and there's no rhyme or reason. I got my last dog simply because that it ate a sock, and that they prayed, and they decided God told them to kill it and versus take the sock out.
Oh my God!
And I still think a lot of this comes back to money issues. The gay, I don't know, that makes no sense to me, but dogs will hump other dogs, and guess what? Girls, and so every animal on the planet does that. Every mammal's known to have those kind of tendencies. So, it's not that abnormal.
Well, on Animal Planet's Dr. Jeff, Rocky Mountain Vet, you also go out and you help out the wolves as well. The wolves are my totem animal. I love the idea. Now, my question is what the problem that you faced, was it because of too much inbreeding? Because they pack up and it can be for life.
Yeah, most of the wolves we see there in the sanctuaries are not purebred, and most of them have been raised individually or in small groups. And they've been given up simply because they're really bad pets. Do not go get a wolf hybrid. They're cool as all get out, but they are not easy to handle. The average dog owner should not even consider a wolf hybrid. And so, we deal with a lot of wolf sanctuaries out here in Colorado.
Yep. So do you read books like from Ted Andrews and stuff like that with Animal Speak? Because as close as you get to those animals, you've got to be listening to their voice.
Well, I think my totem animal is the wolf, according to all of my Native American friends. So, I give them healthy respect, I'll tell you that.
So now, when you get inside, for instance, like the geese, we have a lot of geese here in the South, Canadian geese in the South, which sounds like a joke. Yeah. But I mean, you worked with one that actually got a hook in its neck. What happened here?
Yeah. Yeah, we see that pretty commonly. People cut their fishing line, it gets tangled up in especially in the mountain communities where they have these little lakes where everybody's down there fishing and stuff, and invariably they end up in the wings, in the mouth, around the legs. We get calls and see this all the time. So it's a pretty common thing and especially for some reason Canadian geese.
One of the things that I'm really worried about are the animals in Ukraine. I mean, if we're going to move people, we should also be moving animals, and we can rescue animals. Is there such a thing where we can be reaching out to save those animals?
Yeah, I'm in contact with a few of my friends. I've lectured in Kiev and taught Spaniard there, and there's no question that the Ukrainian people are very much into their animals. They really are into their animals, and a lot of them are going to try to move with their animals. And it's the same thing we saw with Katrina and other things here in America, though. Too, it's like during times of real crises. Like the government agencies are like, well, you can't bring your animals. They for a lot of people, especially elderly people, that's like asking them to leave their kids behind. And we got to be more open and more, think more liberal about that kind of thing, because we need to provide those opportunities for people to leave with their animals and or be able to help take their animals from a given situation.
Well, I can't thank you enough for what you do. Like I said in the very beginning, you are educating people about loving their animals, taking care of their animals, plus you're opening up their hearts to find ways to help heal their family, friends, and family members.
Well, I really appreciate having me on.
Well, come back anytime, Doctor. The door's always going to be open for you. I like talking animals.
Sounds good. I love it too.
Okay, you be brilliant today, sir.
Thank you very much.